Marketing is a means to an end. And the end is the growth of the business in a profitable way.
We have 5 new pieces of creative. And so I said, what if we did this?
No bidding strategy is going to cure a bad business model.
That's very true. This is where it's really crazy.
This is where it gets really crazy. I know it is so cool. I love it.
I love that intro music.
I love it every single time. Even the music. I love the music. I'm like,
I'm like, man, this is like, I don't know how we who found that, but that was amazing.
Yeah,
I love that music.
I actually don't know. I think it was Shintaro. Shintaro's like our secret weapon inside Tier 11. Speaking of secret weapons, we're just coming right out with this because we're starting this promo actually tomorrow on Saturday, which is a logical tie-in for everything that we've discussed pretty much nonstop for the last, 6 months?
At least, yeah.
So here's the deal. Buy the creative diversification package, all the stuff that John and I have been talking about here, the 10 different ad types, 30 plus creatives a month. We're going to teach you today how to actually read the data to know which ads to double down on in your creative diversification package once you gather data. And you get the media buying, and you get the Tier 11 data suite for free.
Hey,
it's a buy one, get 2 free. Alex Hormozy style. But anyway, the funny thing is like when I came up with this, I was reading, I had not read his new book. I don't know if you read any of Hormozy's stuff.
I haven't read a book in like my whole life, I think.
You don't read books. Yeah.
I can't read.
He does a lot of videos.
Oh, I can do that. I don't know. I can't read. When I say I can't read, it's not that I'm like illiterate. I just can't focus.
You just don't do it. Yeah. Just get you a prescription for Adderall. Although you're all kinds of good drugs anyway.
I use Bang. That works.
Bang. Oh my God. What would we do without caffeine as digital marketers? Anyway, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was on that street. I always forget the name of the street. And there's a store that's on that street that is a boot store. It's like the boot shop or the boot store. Barn. Boot barn. That's it. And it's buy 1 pair of boots, get 2 free. Now,
wow.
Yeah. And it's literally, if you go in there, like each pair of boots is like $600. So it's like they're jacking up the price on that one. But maybe the really high quality, I know nothing about cowboy boots. So I was in Nashville seeing a client and I saw that. And then I read his book and I'm like, oh my God, that's the offer that we want to do here. So anyway, so it makes total sense because this is the thing that you actually need. So anyone who comes to Tier 11 right now and wants to run meta ads, unless they have an internal team that can create creative diversification, this is the package to do it. So that's why we were making it irresistible for 11 clients who qualify through the end of this year. Special offer by creative diversification. Get your media buying and the Tier 11 data suite for free. So today, John, and you can do that over at tier11.com/apply. Maybe next week we'll actually have a sales page for this because it's technically going live November 1st. So I don't have a sales page yet. So in that vein, and make sure that we will stop. I know we didn't get to all the questions and stuff last week or 2 weeks ago. Both you and I had personal conflicts last week. So we will get to those. We'll stop at the top of the hour here to answer your questions. Make sure that you do drop them in the comments. But today's show is all about how you measure the effectiveness of those ads, those creatives in creative diversification, which is a different way of looking at it than the way that we used to look at it. So pretty exciting stuff here. So let's drop the goods.
All right. So, and apologize for eating, everyone. I've had a fever for the last 2 days and I'm getting over it now, but I haven't really eaten anything. So I'm starting to get lightheaded. It's 2:30. It's the first time I've eaten. So, I'm eating Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm eating the boneless wings, which is just adult chicken nuggets, is what I like to call them.
Fantastic. God, so, deep fried.
Yeah,
sauce.
I need to put some calories back in.
So good.
This interesting thing about what we've been seeing inside of the Andromeda framework, which is the new algorithm that everybody is using, whether you like it to or not, is the traditional way of measuring ad performance has kind of been changed on us.
Yeah.
The data-driven or sorry, not the data driven, the last click attribution combined with sequencing throws everyone for a loop, because Andromeda is using a group of ads, 20, 30, 40, 80, 100, 120. Now they've raised it to 150 ads per ad set. You can have now 150 ads.
That's big news, actually. That's big news.
Yeah. What's funny, they came out with a framework that said, start off with 48 ads and then add 5 per week. And we're like, you can't. You only gave us 50. They're like, whoops, we're sorry about that. Here's 150 is basically what happened. So what's nice about that is we have a lot more functionality scale that we can use inside of our creative testing environments. But the way to measure them is vastly different than what we used to, because Meta will use, let's say, 20 ads on a user or a group of users, but you only get CPA or ROAS feedback on one of them. And it was the last thing that they did.
Right. The last click.
Exactly. Or even the last one-day view.
Last one-day view. Good point. Good point.
What's funny, you can have a last click on Bob's ad and then go over to Mary's ad, see it, and then go and execute the thing that was already in your cart. And then Mary takes 100% of the credit. But Bob spent way more.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. Say that one again. I think people forget that, like how Meta works inside the platform. Say that one again with the view through versus the click.
Yep. So whatever the last activity was that Meta can measure, that they can attribute, is the only metric that you can see on those ads, and it's only one of them. So if Meta uses 10 ads to convert somebody, a person, you only know the last thing that they clicked on and or saw before they converted.
Viewed, meaning they hovered over it for a couple of seconds, didn't click on it, but that gets the last view or click credit, not the first ad, which maybe did get a click, or maybe any of those 9 other ads that maybe got all clicks.
Yeah. I mean, you could have every single ad get a click, but only the last one gets all of the credit.
Right.
Yep. And that is actually kind of like a scary way of measuring things. And so I'm gonna pull up a case study here that we've been using.
Super important to understand this stuff.
Very much so. Yes, very much so. Because usually the ads that you want to scale, the ads that you want to whittle down to, or the ads that you want to create more of, is typically not the ones that spent the most and had the least amount of sales. But that's the secret.
Yeah.
That's the secret. So we had this small case study in this last about 2 months. And we have a campaign running on 46 ads, and you can see there's kind of like some similarities. You got something called like Robino 1, Robino 2, and then we have like Robino 3 somewhere down here. You have Reese 2, James 2, Robino 3's right there. What we found out is that if we started to iterate what had the highest amount of ad spend each week, as you can see here, the top 5 ads for this week, you have 2 of the ones that we iterated, the original Robino video, the Robino UGC, that one and the iteration of it are still the highest spends.
Yep.
Now, do they have the best performance? No. Let me just do this here. Our checkouts, our click-through checkouts, which are CAPI fed checkouts. These here, I have $30 CPA out of $134,000 in ad spend this last 30 days. But the ones that have the highest amount of ad spend is 39. And then the second one here is 42. So this is $9 and $12 higher than our average. And I say, wow, that's fantastic. Let's make more. Ignore the 14, ignore the 26, ignore this 26, ignore that one, ignore that one, ignore that one. Ignore all of these down here that are better.
I'm just shaking my head because this is not how you do Facebook ads.
Right. Not how you do Facebook ads at all. Like this is reverse what 99.99% of everyone does.
100%. This is exactly, keep, kill, combine. You would just kill kill your losers, let your winners run.
Yep, exactly. So what's funny about this is if we look at just the ones that we've been using, we have Reese. I would even grab Robino 3. I'll grab the ones that I know that we've been kind of pushing. And if I look at only the selected rows that I have, this is $74,000. This is half my ad spend on these 5 ads. Like that's a lot of ad spend concentrated to those 5. And Robino is 1, Robino is 2, and Robino is number 3.
Can I ask you this? Those 3 ads, the Robino ones, are they the same video on each one, or are they different, or is it just the ad copy that's different?
Same video, respliced 3 different ways.
Good. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
important.
Exactly right. The SOP that we have created and circulated internally, which I won't want to share our trade secrets about how we're doing this exactly, but
those you gotta hire us for that.
right. But the SOP that we've developed calls for a multiple iterations of your hook, offer, and your visuals and your primary text. So they have to be iterated. You have to make them better, but you don't necessarily look at the ad that has like $14 CP and be like, make 5 more of those. And I will go through that here in a moment.
Yep.
Now, when we're looking at these videos, if I go to the last 30 days and I compare the previous periods, what you're going to see is these ads here have gone from, in just the last month, 10 grand to $74,000. That is a 662% increase in ad spend. We added 64 grand to these 5 ads. That's massive. That's a large ad spend increase. Our CPA has dropped 15%, and our new customer checkouts increased by 802% off of these 5 ads. Now, the way that we were measuring this, let's just go into the first one, which is the Robno video. So if we look at the Robno video, we can see that the ad spend started on October 1st and then went to October 6th. Then it just tanked off. Like, oh no, like what happened? It just dropped off. Well, on the 6th, what you'll notice is Robno 2 started here on the 7th, and that one kept going.
Okay.
So it kept going. Now watch this. See how this dipped down, but then came back? Yeah. Well, we tried Robno 3, and it didn't really like it. So you can see the spend took over. That's what the dip was on the other one. Spend was high, dipped down on the other one, the inverse. Then this one sank down and said, you know what? We don't like this one. 155, 51, 40, 19. It's starting to decline. So this ad is not actually working. Why? Robno 2 is actually receiving the ad spend. It dipped down because that was when that Robno 3 started, but then Robno 3 started dipping down and this one started to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's doing the inverse. So what's interesting about these is you can actually track if you're starting to decay on top of your iterations. We already have new GC incoming, but we were basically trying to kind of keep our train moving, where each time that we add something like this one, which is Reese, this is actually where we kind of first started before we hit Robno. This one was the one that we first started before Robno took over Reese's video. And remember when Robno was the October 1st to the 6th? That was because this one started after this one. So we just keep iterating and you see, boom, spend given to there. So as we give it another ad, we don't turn this one off. It just dies off and says, great, thank you for that one. I moved on to the next one. Your spend dictates what your audience is receiving as a whole. It's your job to understand the messaging you're giving to them in succession.
Yeah,
we should be looking at our creative as in, I'm going to tell you something once, I'm going to tell you something else, and then I'm going to tell you a third thing, and then I'm going to tell you a fourth thing. Mm-hmm. If your creative iterations and your concepts and your ideas and your pain point hook and offer is, I don't know, like, are you an old woman? Are you a young male? Do you suffer from anxiety? Or maybe you're sleep. Now the person that's watching you're like, I'm getting 5 different messages from the same company, and I have no idea what you guys do. Mm-hmm. You're not testing different users. You're testing the same audience with different messaging. So we have to think about, the fact that AI is going to target a lot of similar audiences than it was before. It's not going to necessarily change your whole target demographic simply because you create a new ad. It's going to show the same demographic, the new ad. So if you're going to say, I'm going to go back to the same people I have been going back to, what else are you going to tell them? Don't think about, I'm going to tell a different group something different, because that means you're going to tell the same group something different. Now that's where you mess up. So you have to look at these things are actually in succession, but watch this. If we just look at the overall campaign here that we've been growing, we know that half our ad spend was on 5 ads, and we just kept iterating it. Okay. Yep. So that was the thing. Now what that has equated to is going from 100 grand to 135 grand in this last 30 days. We noticed that we know those 5 ads gained $70,000 in ad spend. That is more than half of all of my ad spend on those 5 ads. I have 40 ads in this bad boy.
Yeah.
But watch this. What happened to the CPA of every single ad in here in the last 30 days?
Beautiful.
All are green.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
So, that one.
And I'm looking at the big cost per result. I mean, I'm assuming your per click through checkout is your optimization event.
Yeah, they.
I forgot about this client. I know what this client is.
Yeah, this is that client that counted the wrong shit for like 2 years. Yep. But even this one that went up 200%. See how this is going up 200%? And you're like, holy crap! Why are you going from $14 up to $1,100? Like, why are you blasting so much money on it? And then you're like, oh, well, it used to be 7, now it's 21. My average is 30. That's okay. Yeah. So every single one of these things has gotten either more money and better. So Fast forward now from last month to this month, we've gone through this process. We had 5 ads lead the charge for everybody that's ever known anything about us. And somehow every other ad is down 30% down, 50% down, 43% down, 61% down, 50% down. I can keep going on. All of these ads, the CPA is just dropping by half. And the global ad set is dropped by 38%. And so when we actually look over the results, if I go back to the ad set of this one here, my Audience OS new customer purchases went from 7 to 296 with 5 ads that had the shittiest CPA, that had the worst everything, that had the highest amount of ads. But I said, let's make more. Yeah. And we added 300 new customers in the last 30 days, and we paid a lot less for them. And even the other campaign that we started that's now going to be doing new customer acquisition, this one went from 0 to 19 grand. And now this thing is already starting to gain more new customers. It has 89, where obviously it didn't have anything before. But now we're actually saying, hey, we now know that we can get these people to check out. Let's get the new customers too. And that's all starting to head in the same direction.
That's amazing.
It's really weird. Like, as long as you do exactly the opposite of what you're used to, this thing's going to run.
The funny thing is you're optimizing in that first campaign, not even for the event that you really actually want. It's a precursor to it. So, which means that, I mean, we've talked about this. We've used a lot of examples here in the e-commerce space. And this is a question that I get on Discovery Call after Discovery Call every single week. Like, well, is it going to work for me? Because I do lead gen, or I do services, or I do this, I do that. Doesn't really matter, actually.
What's the difference?
Doesn't matter. The algorithm is the same. Like, people still buy and make a purchasing decision the same, whether you're selling a lead gen product, a service, and or a physical product. Like the buying cycle is still, you have to overcome human psychology or play into human psychology to figure out like what is going to attract them, what's going to get their attention. So yeah, it doesn't matter what the industry,
whether you swipe the client's card for them or they do it on their website themselves,
doesn't matter. It's all the same.
Exactly.
It's the same psychology to purchase.
Exactly.
It's the same persuasion that's being used, no matter what.
Now, I
do have a question for you on this. But go ahead.
Well, I was going to say one more kind of a breakthrough as to why everything dropped. This is where I think this gets really fun. If I take out the comparisons and I look at the compare attribution settings, what you're actually seeing is Andromeda utilizing all 46 ads at once. Yeah, this is where this shit gets
never happened before. It's so cool,
right? Yeah. Now watch this. We know that I'm just going to siphon these off between these two and everything else, because what you'll notice on the impressions, these are ones that are above 1 million. Everything else is below 500,000, except for that one, but 500,000 or below. Right. So you see a Pareto rule of 80-20. 80% of the activity is coming from 20% of the ads if you sort descending by spend. Yeah. Now, what you're going to notice here is a massive unlock in your brain, if I can explain this correctly. Most people are going to see and click on these two ads. We know that because we can see it in the volume. But you'll notice a discrepancy between this group and this group, and then the next group down's version of them. And I'm going to try to make those boxes a little bit different size, so you can kind of like separate those out in your brain. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make them a different color so it's more visually appealing. So we're going to look at these here.
Graphics.
It's Christmas colors. Or if you like tamales, it's it's your salsa verde and your red sauce tamales. I don't know.
You could do black. You could do black and orange in honor of Halloween. By the way.
Hey,
all
right. See why I'm not the creative person.
I know. Anyway,
now watch this. Right. Now we know that there is 754 clicks to 200 views. More click attributed than views. 520 clicks to 120 views. Made more clicks. Okay, that's true here. Yeah. Now, when you jump down a little bit, you got 405 views and 127 clicks. Then you got 100 views and 100 clicks. Then you got 80 and then 100. Then you got 40 and a 102. You have a lot more one-day views down here in comparison to your clicks than what you would have at the top. So the ratio between this group here and this group here are vastly different between these two groups. Why? Because people are most often clicking on these ads here. Yep. They don't buy. They add something to the cart, or maybe they call you, or maybe they fill out a form, whatever it may be. But it's not a conversion yet. Then Meta says, okay, you didn't convert. I have you chose these two here like everyone else does. And I know based on who Ralph is, which one of these you need to see next. It's different than John. John needs to see this one. Ralph needs to see that one. Terry needs to see two of those. Bob needs to see this one, then this one. And that's why you're seeing the remarketing efforts. I know it's getting really messy. Oh God, this thing looks like spaghetti. But now you're seeing the
following.
Yeah, you're seeing the remarketing come through and saying, Ralph clicked on ad A, saw ad B, and then converted. Good. John needs to click on ad A. We're also going to show John ad B and then see if he clicks or if he just converts. So you're starting to see what's leading the charge and what's gaining the interest. And then you see everything coming up like the cavalry arriving saying, we're going to help you convert. Now, you only get a last click attributed for everything, which is going to be hard to decipher. But you can kind of see in the data those two big jumps right there between those click-through checkouts and those 7-day clicks. When you cross the threshold between 200 and 700 or 100 and 500 down to more even or even sometimes more, I would say perfectly right here, if you click on this ad first, you're probably going to see this ad and convert next. I can see that in the data right now, the data trend.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So
and remember, like what we talked about in the beginning part of this, in case you missed it, is that Meta only attributes whatever the ad did last.
Exactly.
That could be a view. That could be a click.
Yep. So watch, and then we'll do this. Last thing I'm gonna do just to kind of prove a point. Most people clicked on this 754. Most people viewed this 400 compared to this one. So when we highlight these two ads that are working together, when you say I spent 37 grand and got a 58, or I spent 7 grand and got like a 97, we should pause this 97, right? This thing is stupid high. Look how expensive that is. Right. Dear Lord, let's stop that. And you just literally cut off the second thing that everyone's seeing 400 times after clicking on the first ad and buying.
And you just showed something else on the. Scroll over to the right there just for a little bit, because your number on that ad is 14. Cost per result. So blended cost per result is 14.
Yep.
Which means it's getting that last click or last whatever it is, view or click.
Yeah. Now, what attribution model do most people use, or some people use? Why do click only? I don't want the views. Why do 1 day view, 1 day engage view, and 7-day click? You're missing the forest for the trees still.
Yeah, you're missing.
And that's what's
not everybody clicks.
Now, let's say you did a reverse. I do 1 day view, 1 day click, and 1 day engage view. So this ad is doing really well, but this ad's doing a lot better. Let's pause this ad and see if we can funnel some more ad spend down into here. So what you did is let's take off what everyone likes first and just show them the remarketing ad first.
It's completely counterintuitive.
You change the sequencing.
Yep.
And now we just taken 100 grand worth of learning and said, you know what? I don't like you anymore.
We used to have a spreadsheet that we would use. It was like an internal SOP. It was called the minimize, maximize, optimize.
I love
checklist. And it was a great checklist, but it basically taught, hey, if you've got $10,000 worth of ad spend on ad A and it only has one conversion, but you've got $2,000 on ad B and it's got 20 conversions, you kill ad A.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the exact opposite of what I used to teach my team, John, which is unbelievable. But you can see why it's so important now, because it follows human psychology. Like, first off, not everyone clicks. But everyone needs multiple touch points. I was listening. Like, who knows how many touch points it could be? It could be one, maybe on 1 in 100, like we said that last week. Maybe 1 in 200 is one click. Anyway, but you're leaving 99 or 199 people like all of that opportunity on the table. Just accept the fact that you're going to need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 impressions and/or clicks in order to get the sale. That's human nature. And that's what Andromeda has really been able to tap into, which is quite remarkable.
And if you have 7 different archetypes that all want the same product. So
Coke
Zero. It's actually make Coke Zero.
Yeah.
I drink Coke Zero because sugar actually makes me thirsty. So I drink a Coke Zero. You drink Coke Zero because you believe that you need to have less calories.
Right.
So I
just want the caffeine without the calories. There you go.
That's the third archetype. Yeah. Exactly right. Now,
3 different reasons why somebody would drink Coke Zero.
Exactly. And now those 3 ads are sitting there in your ad set, ready to be used for Ralph, for John, and for Bob. And because Ralph didn't click on that one last, sorry, we got to get rid of it. That's how we're optimizing. That's probably wrong.
Yeah.
So we came up
they say Ralph doesn't want that. Let me show him another one.
Uh-huh.
And maybe that'll be, or based upon previous behavior, I probably know what Ralph's interested in.
Right. Well, you're speaking from Meta's perspective. Meta knows.
Right.
The media buyer is saying like, well, Ralph didn't click on that last, so the CPA went up, and so I'm going to kill it. Oh, yeah. That was happenstance. That was per chance, really. Like if it's almost like free will. It's like if you click that button, I'll leave it on. But if you just look at it and convert anyway, sorry, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of what we're doing. It's crazy. So it's really fun to actually see how everything is going to benefit from everyone, because there is 10 different archetypes. I have 50 different ads, and 50 different people have 50 different things that are important to them. And so when you're doing your nomenclature, what is your concept? What is your hook? What is your offer? And then what pain point are you experiencing on what type of avatar? Yeah. And that there could be 6 ads floating in 50 that are crushing it on 10,000 people. But because you can only globally everything into CPA, you may miss the forest for the trees. But if you see what Meta is spending on, that's starting all the users, starting everybody on the same journey, and then what is the difference of the pain points and objections that people have thereon after, those will all be different for sure.
Because we're all different.
Exactly.
Exactly right. How about that for a novel concept? We as humans are all different. Me and you are not the same, John. We don't want the same thing out of Coke Zero.
Exactly.
Or out of those ads that we just showed. One last question for you here before we get to questions. Yeah. Creative similarity is something that's getting a lot of buzz on social media right now. And I actually saw one this week, an example of a ad that's similar to like your Robono ads. Like you created 2 or 3 of those, I think 3 of them, and it replaced the Reese ads for this example that we've used multiple times here. Because it's the same human in the UGC, Meta might flag that as too similar and not give impressions. But in your case, it did. Well, or no, they actually exchanged. That's right. They did.
We did 1, nailed it. 2, nailed it. 3, failed.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So our meeting this morning.
Yeah, they didn't overlap.
Right.
Literally. Okay.
It almost went like yes, 1, yes, 2, 3. Meta said back to 2. No. And so that was actually in our meeting this morning, our creative meeting this morning. We said, excellent. And I was out of the loop because I do more of the strategy. I said, we have someone for UGC lined up. It's like, yep, we already have like 3 more people. They're already creating content. I'm like, cool. Because when 2 dies off, we need Bob 1. Yeah, we need another UGC to replace it, because we know UGC, we know it's to females over the age of 30 who want to become a medical assistant, who wants to take school from home. And this is a person who is their peer telling them a day in their life and how it's going to work.
Right.
If I jump over to anything else, I'm just going to take my interested party and then make them disinterested. So we just have to keep continually communicating, because more people are coming into the market, and those same people that convert are coming out of the market. So as long as this messaging is working to these group of people, hey, Meta, can you give me more of that group of people? What is that called? Scale.
Right. Interesting. The ad that you had that would sort of kind of, well, it's actually still running. It's the Reese ad. Let's go back into that, because I think this is fascinating. Those are now running concurrently with the Robono ads. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay. Reese is still running in concurrent with them.
You haven't made any iterations of the Reese ad, because Reese continues to give ads.
Well, we did. So this is Reese 1. I think we have a Reese 2. I don't know if I can do a search. So that was Reese 1. Let me just see. We have too many ads. I'm just gonna do this here.
Ad contains.
Yeah. Here's Reese 2.
Yeah.
Reese 2 is, no. I mean, it's got a couple of bucks a day, but nothing.
Like
it's probably used for some little remarketing blips here and there. And that's when it's like, I'll spike up the spend. I'll get the sale. And then, it just kind of like dies off after that. So a lot of times you'll only see this thing kind of go dormant until the archetype that needs to see this video pops into existence. So what ends up happening is, and I have a really fun variation of it. The company that this company owns, we saw a massive, this is only a 2-minute case study, but it's probably one of the most powerful variations that I can give you all.
Wow, that's quite a lead in.
Oh, it's so good. All right. I'm gonna have everyone here. I would love for everyone to chat. I would love for everyone to comment if you can. I would love, Ralph, I'd love for you to chime in as well. This right here is the total sales that this video has made, and it started on October 9th. We have made 2 sales, and it was in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Now, you'll see here an oddity.
Pause it.
It's dead. Next. Kill it. All right. So you see how this thing had a kind of a flat ad spend at really low, sub $100, and then just skyrocketed up to about $350 and then stayed there. And this is between October 8th and October 16th. Okay. Now, what the media buyer did was it was smart. It wasn't stupid. It wasn't like, look what he did. He looked at this thing and said, hey, it's spending $50 a day for a week. And then this thing jumped up to $350 and then jumped up to $385. And it has not made one purchase. So I went ahead and paused it. And I was like, uh-oh. So what this shows us, what this showed me at the time is this is the next message in the sequence that needs to be shown. And then the media buyer said, I don't think so. They were right. It had flat ad spend, but because our SOP says never pause high spending ads, this one started to become a high spending ad and was paused. Now watch this. That was on October 16th, and then that went to the 22nd. So October 16th to the 22nd, compared to previous period, watch what happened to the NBC ad set here. Jeez, come on. No, medical billing coding. Yep. You'll see this. Our new customers dropped by 42%. Our CPA went up by 54%. And our spend started tanking down 10%. So I said, hey, I don't think we should pause that ad. It was our highest spending ad. Let's re-enable it. So if I do this in the last 28 days, you see that this ad was kicked back up on the 22nd. So this one is, the 23rd. So if we go to the 23rd and then we go to that next week and we compare that to the previous period, now your ad spend is up 5%. Your CPA is down 41%. And your new customer increases are 81% up. Now, it's a lot easier to say like, well, you have 50 ads. That was a week. Like, no, that's not what it was. If we look in the change history between that entire time period, between 22nd and that last week here, that was the only change made by me taking that ad and turning it back on. That one ad change. So a high spending ad that had no results was paused, took down 50% of this account. We made one change, turning it back on, and 90% of them came back in one day.
Unbelievable.
Now that I don't know how else to say that spend dictates more than CPA. No, something that didn't even have any CPA tanked the whole account because everyone started there, but we have a 12-day sales cycle. No one's going to start and stop on the same ad in the same day.
Okay. So answer me this.
Yes.
And I think I know what the answer might be. When you're running Meta and you're trying to figure out creative, what's your best creative?
UGC.
What? Well, okay. That's a type, but in all of the types, all the 10 types or 15 types, however many, like creative diversification is more than just 10 ad types. It's everything. It's a lot of different things. The point is like, that's a good basis for it, which we've shown here multiple times. We're going to have a lead magnet for that by the way, very soon. That people are going to have to opt in for it. Anyway, we can't give away everything for free, John.
I mean, they're getting what they're paying for.
Absolutely. Here, we're underpaid doing this. I can tell you that. What is the determining factor for you to say, oh, that's the one that I want to get a creative team? We need more of those. What's the determining factor?
Spend and spend only. And I almost could turn off conversions in the account and still have that same management style.
Yeah.
I'd probably actually be smarter for it.
It's almost like that would blind you, wouldn't it? In a lot of ways. I mean,
Meta needs to see its own conversions in order to know where it needs to spend, but yeah.
So the interesting thing, we had a call on Andromeda this week, and we will get to questions here, by the way. So just hold tight on that. And one of our, there you go. Delicious. One of our creative strategists, one of our creative people said, oh, that's awesome because when I'm looking in motion and we use motion to sort of determine, and that's how the creative team oftentimes would look and say, all right, which ads are performing? We always sort of had a problem with it because it was usually conversion-based, CPA-based, but then they were looking at the retargeting ads saying, oh, that's getting all the conversions because it's getting the last click conversions or the last view conversions. But now motion actually force ranks everything based upon ad spend, which is very smart. Like motion as a software, which is a great software, by the way, it is like, that's the easiest thing to do. So if you're a creative person, you're like, well, how do I supplement? How do I buttress the efforts of my media buying team? All you have to do is log in either Motion or Ads Manager, figure out which ad is the one that's getting the most spend over the last 10, 15, 14 days, 28 days, whatever it happens to be, and iterate more on that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're 100% correct. And something that actually is Meta's Pixel is very smart. It sees engagement. It may not see all conversions, but it sees engagement and it sees activity and it sees what people are liking way more than we can because we're sitting behind a metric.
It's not just conversion.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is something that most people don't know. If you look at this, my computer's slowing down here. Come on.
We will get to questions. I promise.
All right. This part right here. Imagine this. Now, I use a lot of, obviously, Wicked interface supported by, obviously, the Tier 11 data suite. The Tier 11 data suite is retraining our pixels. That's why I like to say first click CAPI imports. It's like what I've been using. Right. One of the reasons why I think I'm actually making a lot more headway than most agencies are is Meta's pixel cannot track non-consented users. GA4 did it. Google Tag Manager did it. Now Meta Pixel is doing it. Heard from our Meta team this morning, our disruptors are saying, hey, by the way, model data is being pushed a little bit further in. And so that part, just be mindful if some things don't really look right. And we're like, what are you talking about? And so if a person doesn't go to your website and say, yes, accept all cookies, your Meta Pixel is not going to be able to deliver conversion data off of people if they do not say, yes, I accept all cookies. So they're modeling it. Exactly. So it's like, hey, I'm spending a whole bunch of money here. I'm showing them these ads and these ads and these ads. And then I see conversions. I can't see conversions, but I can kind of see conversions. So I'll model it this way.
I'm modeling it.
Right. So it's interesting is like when you're looking at, well, like, did that ad get a click? And if it did not, it gets paused. We can't be so minutia driven that it's like a few basis points either left or right to side. It almost have to be like large. So I found that spend is going to be a lot more helpful because even Meta might be like, hey, I don't even know if they clicked on that ad, but they may not really like it that much, but I'm only showing it a little bit. So you have to let Meta say, this is what everyone likes. What else you got that's like this? That's your signal.
Remember, like a tremendous amount of users opted out when that ATT prompt first came on board way back when in 2021.
It was like 97%.
Like 97%
didn't do it.
So that is still a real thing. So whenever you
consent mode,
I forget what I did. I think I said allow pixel to track. I always allow everything. I don't care. I could be cookied. The point is, or pixeled either way. The point is that if you're looking at 10 conversions inside Ads Manager, you don't have first click CAPI imports. You don't have data suite. Out of those 10 conversions, probably 4 to 6 of those are modeled.
Oh yeah,
40 to 60% is still modeled. Now, Meta's saying we're not looking at conversions, and they are kind of peaking a bit.
Exactly.
Like, because the data still exists. So, but the point is it is modeled data, and that's why you need an edge server. That's why you need CAPI imports. That's why you need all this thing, because it just powers the Meta Andromeda algorithm change, which really isn't a change anymore because it's kind of here. Changed way back in the beginning of the year. Like, without that,
tomorrow will be a year ago.
Will it really? Oh, it's November 1st. That's right. That's when we first saw it. Yeah. So all of that data needs to be more accurate. So if you have near 100% accuracy in your data, you're feeding the algorithm better data. You're finding better audiences. You're going out and finding better clients and customers for your clients or for your business.
It's like slapping a tutor on to your kid's school. It can only help.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of help, this part of the program is sponsored by Tier 11. Buy the Creative Diversification Pack and get the media buying and the Tier 11 data suite for free. Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, this would be like $24,000 normally.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of money. So anyway, most people can't afford that, but check it out over at tier11.com/apply.
Most people can't afford to, but how can you afford not to?
How can you afford not to? That's right. Operators are standing by. Name is Amy Gimbel.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. All right. Wait, there's more. We're actually going to get to some questions here.
Yeah.
So I will get rid of the banner here so we can actually see some of the questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go. All right. Who showed up today? Need God. I remember this.
Great brand. Man, that's so good.
Gal. Very, very good. Very cool. What's the minimum daily budget for Andromeda to exit the learning phase? Also, which low-cost creative model, UGC, is best for small advertisers?
I haven't really found necessarily a minimal daily budget is going to be dependent upon what you're tracking as a conversion. Meta states that it needs about 50 conversions. However, I haven't seen a big discrepancy between something that's learning with low ad spend for some time versus something that had a high amount of ad spend in a short time. Usually there's like an X and Y axis. If you think about it very simply, Meta needs 50 data points. Now, are you going to take 3 weeks to give it that 50 data points, or do you need 2 days to give it that 50 data points? That is spend. So it's going to need the data no matter what. It is better if it can learn it faster because it will accelerate its learning. But if you have a low ad spend, there isn't much inefficiency that we've seen. It just takes longer. So there's really not a golden rule. But if you're adding, like with my one campaign, we had a 35-day sales cycle for these people because they're going to college. We figured out if we can track the add to carts, we can cut that down to about 11. So that accelerated our process. We just looked on the back end on an NCAC perspective to say that the add to carts are actually turning into sales. So don't only use in-app CPA, never use in-app CPA actually, but we used it to train the algorithm and then we measured it top line. So we got through learning very quickly, but that was because we knew that there wasn't really any sort of drop off between a person that's starting the checkout and the checkout when they get to that point.
It used to be 50 conversions per ad set per week. Like, does that still apply?
I haven't seen the per week anymore. Still 50 conversions per ad set.
50 conversions per ad set, but it doesn't. The time span doesn't matter anymore. So that's changed considerably. I haven't even talked to you about that in a long time.
What's nice is because we've just been dogpiling on top of ads, on top of ads, on top of ads. It just kind of gets stronger and more resilient to a wider audience. So the learning actually becomes like quicker.
Yeah, and there's really no more like learning phase. Like there is learning, but it takes time to sort of figure it out. All right, is it going to be this ad, this ad, this ad? But it's like it's faster now than it ever has been.
Yeah, learning doesn't mean I'm not working. Learning just means, hey, give it time. Like I'm figuring out what's going on. Like, okay, cool, take your time. Like that's all it is.
Makes sense. Ollie Leeboy says, "Bon appetit."
Hey, Ollie.
By the way, I got to get that one in there. All right, we got a 2-part question from Isaiah. With companies that sell digital asset software that generally share a market but may have unique avatars, what's the ideal structure? One campaign, one ad set per SKU, or all combined?
Yeah. So
okay.
When you're looking at Meta, and I'm guessing it's Meta because they said ad set, not ad group.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yep. And so with the way that we've been doing it, this again, I highly recommend contacting us to get first CAPI imports because I've only found out how to control Andromeda by a conversion event, which means that if I'm measuring, and I'll share a screen on my own company so you can see how we're doing this because I sell dog supplements. We have 6 different types of dog supplements. The same dog and the same person can all use these 6 supplements. Not the person, but the person can buy it for their dog. Well, actually, no, probably they could too. They might just have a healthy coat and shiny gums.
I'd help you and me.
Yes. If you have fleas, hey, you never know. I don't judge.
Occasionally I do. I haven't showered in a while.
Right. Go camping. Sometimes you need flea protection. So this one here, I have like my joint products, my digestive products, my immune products, and I'm just waiting for our critical line here to have a critical line conversion event. But I will spend, a fairly good amount of money, like $330K a month. But it is all broken down by I'm spending $280,000 on my immune products. Now there will be overlap. I have 900 new customers, I have 1,200 sales. 900 of them are new. 825 out of 900 are my immune customers. That means I probably got some returning customers. Yep. I have some returning customers. So there's 300 there because I only have 9 out of the 12 are new. 300 are returning. Like I can see all that. You will have overlap, but what you're trying to get is a sale, 180 purchases, 128 new, 109 of the 128 are my cat new customers. Perfect. So if I separate out my campaigns by my conversion event, it retrains that ad campaign / ad set to only that avatar. And then it's my job to keep pumping it, that ad set, that creative, that avatars, or that campaign, that ad set, and that conversion objective. It needs to be those creatives. So it's almost like different ad accounts all in one ad account.
Yeah. Good question here. A follow-up by Isaiah is I see in past weeks talks of consolidating data as it may be best to just throw all high-performing SKUs into one ad set and let the algo choose which spends goes daily, or will this be limiting? That's a great question.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that without having it. Because on the flip side, what the bad part of this byproduct of that is like that's what this one would be. Like we have critical lines are 3 different products in one. Yeah. And that one here has got a $35 CPA compared to a $300 CPA. But because it is not actually focused on new customers, out of 130 sales,
and you're optimizing for purchase, straight up purchase.
Exactly. Just throw everything into one and whatever sells. The problem is it didn't sell anybody new. Out of 130 sales, 105 of them are returning customers.
That's the key. That's the difference between CAPI imports and edge tag. Like that's like, you got to be able to stratify out new customers versus return.
Yeah. Do you want sales? Yes. Do you want new customer sales? Yes. Do you want new customer sales on that product? Yes. You need CAPI imports.
Yeah, absolutely. Like otherwise you're going to look in your bank account, you're like, wow, look at all my conversions. I'm like, well, my bank account hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. I would see 130 conversions here, and I would go hop into the back end of Shopify and see 155 and be like, I had 155 last month. Like, yeah. So that's it. Just, it doesn't make sense.
Zero growth. You need new customers.
Exactly.
Yep. You know what,
you can't
John?
grow returning.
There's 3 ways to grow a business. Get new customers, get them to buy more often, get them to buy more stuff when they buy. There it is. 3 things. So we're focused on number 1 because that's the hardest to do. Yeah. Well, maybe not now with Andromeda. All right, DCAS. Thank you for listening and watching DCAS. How do you deal with limited by budget? Sounds simple, but when we go with what Google suggests, it screws up our campaigns every time. Oh, I've got a Google question here.
Wow.
Crazy talk.
So limited by budget simply means that unless you're scooping up all available traffic ever, you will be limited by budget. If you have 1 million people a day, but you don't have the 1.2 million people that you could have had, you're limited by budget. So limited by budget is never ending until you possibly cannot spend another dime in Google. Everything's limited by budget.
Yeah.
So even Nike on their shoes are probably limited by budget. Unless you're able to physically spend millions a minute, you're limited by budget. So
even if it's just you've got 95% of your like coverage, that 5% still means like you're limited by budget, but it'll also just keep creeping up over time. It sounds like.
Yeah. As Google will call you and be like, you missed out on opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what that means. So limited by budget is not a big red flag that what it seems. It simply just says, hey, we think you can spend more. That's all that really is. But like, Google is going to
imagine that them wanting you to spend more.
Huh. When the wolf comes out and greets you, that's been guarding the hen house, says, hey, I think you need more chickens in there.
That's good. There's always a good John analogy in these shows. You should just tune in just for one of those little gems every single week. Thanks, DCAS. Daniel Lower, I'm probably butchering his name. Should have said it before. The production value of the show is top tier now.
Hey, wow. Top tier 11 now, huh?
Top tier, is it 11? It goes to 11. Yeah.
It was tier 10, but now it's tier 11.
You know why we call it tier 11? Tier 11, by the way. The movie Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap because the identifier goes to 11.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
It's just one more. All right. Interdeep Singh has a question. I was earlier optimizing for leads, WhatsApp, button clicks, appointments, CAPI imports. Recently, I switched to the appointments because the quality was bad. Is that a good move or not? Sounds like a service-based business. WhatsApp, button clicks, appointments.
Okay. Optimizing for lead, button clicks, and appointments. And recently switched to only appointments. So yes, here's a few things you want to double check.
Yep.
If you're receiving micro conversions that were leading to bigger conversions, it's a signal to Google to say, hey, these are no longer important, which means that your conversions that were coming from those micro conversions will be reduced if you have kind of like one very important rule. If you're using any sort of restricting bidding strategy, a TCP or TROAS, or a cost cap or a bid cap, yes, it will hurt. Simply because it's going to see the total amount of conversions drop, and it's a restricted bidding strategy, which means if the performance drops, your spend drops. So unless you're using a wide open bidding strategy, manual CPC that's really bidding high, sometimes even max clicks is not conversion based, but maximize conversion value or maximize conversions, or if you're doing like maximize the amount of conversions instead of meta, or maximize the amount of sales. If you have any sort of restriction, immediately turn that off. But I would valid. I'm never a big proponent of only counting micro conversions. I am a big proponent of counting micro conversions and the top line sales conversions because it does tell more of a full story to teach it faster. But when you reduce it, sometimes it says, oh, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, I'll only go to this. And the activity over here was leading this. So be careful with it. Because when you shut off the micro conversions, you can tank sometimes the actual conversions. If that happens, do only one thing. Turn them back on. That's it. Just simply turn them back on. Things will flow right back. Don't change budgets. Don't add TROAS. Don't change bidding strat. Don't do anything. Just turn them back on. It'll naturally flow back into really quickly where it was before because you have an unrestricted bidding strategy. It will go after what it thought or it will keep trying what it knew. And that's where you're leaning on. It's going to keep trying what it knew and it's not being restricted by anything. So if you kill those conversions, it should still keep trying to what it knew. But if it doesn't, turn them back on. You're basically counting on the fingerprinting to say, I knew that these add to carts or these button clicks eventually turn into these sales. If it can't make that connection, it will die.
Got it. Makes sense. Follow-up question from him. Which bid strategy do you prefer, maximize value or TCPA for lead gen on search, and why?
T-Row is actually. So I do CAPI imports of actual sale data. Again, I measure things much differently than everyone else. So usually it's like cost per lead and leads and that kind of stuff. I will import the people that actually sign a contract and pay the $18,000, and I'll import that back into my search campaigns so I know what physical closed deals the sales team is making, and that dictates where my ad spend goes, not the I gave them a chance and I need more of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Offline conversions all the way for the win.
Bingo.
Last question from him. Do you still recommend feeder strategy for lead gen? Because keywords and max clicks will get low positions. Instead, why not put them into a TCPA or max conversions to get better position for the top keywords? We haven't talked about feeder strategy in quite a bit. So.
I don't use feeder strategy anymore because of first click CAPI imports. Feeder strategy was originally about, hey, Google's going to get the clicks here, and then they're going to upcharge the crap out of you, and then they're going to get the conversion over here. But because I don't let Google dictate where my conversions came from. I say, I know if I get a click here, I will get a conversion somewhere later on, and I can pipe all those back into where I think it originally started. Once that was confirmed, I was able to cut half my campaigns out and scale twice as fast because I didn't have to use one to feed the other one because of attribution was stealing away. I want to show everyone something that is damning inside of Google. And I truly believe that if you don't fully grasp this in your brain, you are going to completely get screwed over by Google, and you won't have any idea why. Watch this. This is something that is extremely important. This is the basis for feeder strategy. This is literally feeder strategy in a screenshot. I have a top of funnel standard shopping catch-all campaign that got a click, and then demand gen showed an ad to that person and took 99% out of 100% of that conversion away from standard shopping. So why does demand gen look good? Because of what I'm feeding it. Nowadays, I don't need demand gen to take credit for it to help my standard shopping. I first click CAPI import right back into standard shopping and say, screw you, demand gen. I don't need you anymore.
Oh my God, Google.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you got to click on a shopping ad, but then we showed them a commercial after that, and we're the reason why they did it.
No wonder people are so confused.
Right.
And platforms themselves. I mean,
it's all messed up. And then people are still using it like it's 2016. They're like, people just click on an ad and buy, right?
Oh, God, no. That's exactly it. Isaiah, great question here. We got a good tee up for our our offer.
The money's in your PayPal account.
The money is in your PayPal account. It's good. It does help pay the bills here. You know, it ain't cheap to get a StreamYard subscription. Tier11 Data Suite is something we can buy and get access to from you guys without the media buying cost. Head on over to tier11.com/apply. Yep. We'll talk to you about it.
Yep.
All right. There you go. Pitch. And don't forget, you can buy the creative diversification strategy and get your media buying and your Tier 11 Data Suite for free. That's the deal of the century. Hey, by the way, we're not making our gross profit margins on that, by the way, just FYI. All right, Isaiah, site makes it feel a bit like I can't pay unless I run my ads. Well, talk to our sales team, I would say, at this point. And it's a good thing Mitch is here because,
welcome to Tier 11 Live on Friday.
He was 10 minutes late. I can't believe it. I feel so betrayed. Welcome.
Seriously, Mitch. Mitch. Each time you announce that you're late, I die a bit inside.
It's like, does Mitch still love us? That's always sort of the question.
Why aren't we a priority, Mitch?
I know.
Why don't you love me?
He has other things to do. He's got things to do. He's got to I don't know. Put lotion in his beard. He's to put like moisturizer in his beard, like so it's not frizzy. Like that takes a long time. You know, a lot of
it's always like
care routines, you know, all that sort of stuff.
I saw him like when we were walking towards each other. We were in California, and it was just like you can see this like chisel, like it's just like it's like a Minecraft character. It's just perfectly manicured. I was like, there's Mitch.
Yeah, perfectly symmetrical too.
And he has a ruler and he draws a line on the wall. You know?
I think he does. Like it's lotion. It puts the lotion on his beard. Great reference.
That's amazing.
I should watch that movie again tonight.
Unless it gets the hose again.
Yeah. It puts the lotion in the basket. All right. Isaiah Prather, another question. This was great info. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Well, all right.
Perfect.
We got a couple.
A couple more. I think we might have time for one or two more.
Yeah, we got one or two more here. All right. Dheeraj Shetty, probably butchering his name. Do you guys run SCAG campaigns?
Yeah, so single keyword ad groups. I forgot about those. Man. So kind of.
I know that acronym, but I'm like, what the hell is it? Anyway, go ahead.
I did something called, I tried to do a play on that one. I was like, SPACs. I'm running SPACs. So like, what? I'm like single product ad campaigns. That worked actually really well. That turned into a dog pile, and I just went right back to everything being grouped together.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so I have run SCAG recently. It's interesting. I've almost run like a mini expanded SCAG. So what I found works well, and actually, you know what? I'll share with you. This is my friend's account, my friend's company. The man that actually lives in Scottsdale, Arizona, that introduced me to my wife 15 years ago, had started a fine detailing business in North Scottsdale. And so
this isn't like the warehouse guy.
No, this is my buddy Ryan.
Okay.
And he goes, hey, he's like, I started, it's cool. Like he doesn't have like not a great big website, but there's Ryan. He does detailing of fine cars in Scottsdale. So he does like paint correction, auto dealing. So we ran this thing. This was my kind of like first go around in seeing what is going to work. So I threw everything into one ad group, the detailing, ceramic, and paint correction. I grabbed some long tail exact match, and the search terms are just beautiful. Like I couldn't have gotten anything better. Auto detailing near me, car detailing, Scottsdale detailing, everything, ceramic coating, beautiful, perfect. Yep. So we're trying to identify the volume and then conversions and what they're costing and yada, yada, yada. But after this, I will take a car detail near me that has basically been the keyword that has sucked up all of the good quality conversions. And this we ran in one campaign, one ad group with one daily ad budget.
Well, this is this month. This is like, I thought this was like years ago. Okay.
Oh, he just called me out of the blue and he's like, hey, I didn't even know you did this. I started seeing a bunch of your videos online. I was like, I'll just give you a call. You're my friend. So I haven't talked to him in 15 years.
Huh.
And so he just saw some of our YouTube videos and he's like, I didn't even know that you guys did that. So he just reached out to me. I didn't charge him anything. It's for free because I'm setting up a campaign with like 10 people.
Now you're gonna get deluged with all
those.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
John does not do shit for free, by the way.
If you introduce me to my wife, you'll get a campaign out of it.
That's right. You do. You only have one wife, so that's good. So that's one guy.
We're gonna raise the bar. If you give me the winning Powerball numbers, you get 2 campaigns out of it.
That is true. Actually, I'll do the same. The winning Powerball number. I'll run all your meta. I'll give you the creative diversification package for free. Screw that.
I'll give you 2 of them.
I'll give you 2. That's right. One for you, one for your wife.
If it's the mega winnings, I'll give you 3.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. It's like, yes, those are long tail exact match, and I will get all the close variants. A SCAG, a single keyword ad group, will get all the close variants of that long tail exact match. And that will start to loosen it up over time and make it a phrase, make it a broad, turn on automated bidding. But I needed to get my keywords down pat with manual CPC first, and then we'll move into, but it won't expand. It will just whittle down, become less restrictive.
So for a super local campaign, like that's a great way of setting things up. Like how much does he spend on a monthly basis?
Oh, it's horrible. This poor bastard's paying $40. Right now he's going to SEMA show. So it's the SEMA SAMA show. So he's often this big car show. So he's going here. So we actually ended up just taking all of his budgets down to $1 a day.
Right.
Then we're going to launch a e-commerce that goes back. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I mean, this right here is check this out. We did a retail local traffic. So he has a retail shop. So I was like, hey, we're just going to go into these locations, just, in the rich areas in the area. So we got North and Carefree and North Scottsdale and that kind of stuff. And we ran a campaign, and because we're doing some really nice long tail exact match, it was like detailing products, auto detail store, car detail supply store near me, car detailing equipment nearby. I'm like, beautiful. Like perfect. My keyword strategy on this one was just like nailing it twice in a row, which is perfect. And now we're just going to move forward into it. But yeah, it's expensive. It's like $20 a CPC for detailing. It's crazy.
And he's getting like 1-click conversions though. It looks like
33% conversion rates usually. Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's only 1 call a day, but it's nailing it.
Why not? It's all
exactly right.
Anyway, well, thank you for everyone who has questions came here today. We, obviously we do this because we love to do it, but the creative diversification pack and the other things, getting them for free over at Tier 11 is a way to pay the bills. That's for sure. However, it is the way to do this. Seriously, like we're not taking on any meta clients without this package because it's so essential. And it's something that you figured out.
Well, what's funny is every agency in the world will say we're the best. I dare another agency to do what we do and prove it live every Friday. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to gonna throw a little challenge out to the world. See what happens.
I mean, you're starting to see it with the YouTube videos too, like tens of thousands of views now. Some of these, so it's like it's good. But the point is like we're doing it and we're showing it and we're obviously screen sharing. You can't hide it. You can't
exactly.
This isn't theory. It's actual tactics that we're deploying and getting great results for our clients, which is what we're after here.
So when we say you got to buy this package, we have proven it for weeks as to why it's needed.
100%. It was just one big lead into a big sales pitch. No,
you watched a 6-month infomercial. Haha, gotcha.
No, it is true to a certain degree, but like this is the biggest breakthrough.
I triple dog dare you, Mitch. He says double dog dare. Is it
double dog dare? Wow, that's good. How is the pup, by the way? All right,
he's good. Yeah, he's actually much better now. He's got 2 weeks in with the little fractured jaw, so we go in 2 weeks to see how it's healing and see if we can get the tooth extracted and yada yada yada. But he's in good spirits. You could never tell that he broke his jaw 2 weeks ago. He's still biting everything he wants to because he's a 50-pound German Shepherd puppy and he's massive.
He's young.
Yeah,
bouncing back.
Exactly.
Good to hear. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Come on back next week, Friday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Me and John do the Ad Lab Live, cooking up chaos in the conversion kitchen.
Yeah.
Till next week, everyone. See ya.
Bye-bye, everybody.